equations. Grab paper if you don't have that already. Put your title on it. Just reviewing, if there was a fire drill, where would you go? I don't think there's a phone or your mom anywhere in there, I'm pretty sure. Where do you go out once you leave the door? Because this is where people get confused. First row and down to the blue car. And if you haven't noticed my car before, on the back it's got a pink crown that says Math Diva. It's pretty obvious it's my car. So. And if you touch it, that's the exciting part. So please, everyone touch it, because it really needs to be cleaned. Yeah.
So we don't run around in circles?
Not so much. No, you get to stay at 3:30 and clean it.
What if we have soccer here? Can we catch it?
Well, then don't touch the car.
What if I want to touch the car?
Step number 1. Isolate the variable. I feel like a semicolon. Semicolon. I don't even really know when to use a semicolon, but it kind of felt like I should there. Follow your foldable. Brody, I totally see you. I'm sitting right here. Seriously, I'm right here. If you have it, dig it out. It's pink. Nick's got it in his hand. He'll hold it up. It's got all those little flappies on it that give you the steps. If you have it, dig it out now. So that's where we get rid of the brackets, we get rid of fractions, we get rid of constants, we get rid of coefficients, da, 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 da. There's one exception for inequalities, so I'm going to grab my red pen. One new rule, I guess I'll call it. There's really only the one step. It's really the same. There's just one little new rule with inequalities. Anytime you multiply, or divide by a negative number, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality. Carter, I see you too. Put it away. Away. Like away. Like even more away. Like so away that it's away. Nice. Here's the logic on this one. Here is a true inequality. Agree 1 is less than 10. That is a true statement. What I'm going to do is multiply both sides by a negative, and I'm going to multiply by negative 1. And as long as I do it to both sides, I can do that in math because I'm not changing the equation. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, and negative 1 times 10 is negative 10. Take a look at the inequality now. Negative 1 less than negative 10. Negative 1 less than negative 10. Is that true? So the only one to make it true is to flip that inequality sign. Negative 1 is greater than negative 10. That's the only little difference with inequalities versus equations, is whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, not add or subtract, those are fine. Multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality sign. Example 1. You're now equation experts after that quiz. So just pretend it's an equal sign. Don't even look at that inequality right now. Pretend it's not there. Don't let it freak you out. We need to get rid of the negative 2, and we need to get rid of the 14. Which one do we start with? The 14. What's the opposite of adding 14? Subtracting 14. (34 minus 14). And although I accidentally started to, I did not flip the inequality there. Why not? Because I'm just subtracting. That was subtracting. That's a-okay. What's the two things that are not? Dividing and multiplying by a negative. How do I get rid of the coefficient of negative 2? Ooh, divide by what now? So I'm going to keep the r on the left. Grabbing my red pen just so it stands out. It's going to go from greater than or equal to less than or equal to. And then 20 divided by negative 2? Negative 10. That's the only thing that's different than equations, is anytime you divide or multiply by a negative, which is usually the last step with these, you flip the inequality sign. R can be anything less than negative 10. So it could be negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 2,700, negative 2,467,113. The other difference between equations and inequalities is equations have one answer. Inequalities have? And what do we call many? More than a lot. Infinite number of answers. That's the big difference. Equations have one answer. Inequalities are infinite. There is an infinite number of wrong answers. I enjoy that. Still trying to isolate the variable. Here I'm dividing by 5. What's the opposite of dividing by 5? Multiplying by 5. Flip or no flip? Correct. It is a multiplication, but it's not by a negative, so we're going to keep it. And then we just need to do 5 times 50. We'll do 5 times 5 and add a 0. So 5 times 5 is 250. So there we go. That's it. So give me one possible value. Give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one. How long can I keep playing this game? Until you died of thirst or hunger or the fire drill happened, or we could play it outside actually. There's a big debate in the math world right now is, are there infinite number of infinities? Yes. That's the big debate right now. Because you can take infinity, but you can always add 1. So is that a new infinity? Yeah. Can you multiply infinity by infinity? No. We don't know. We don't know. This is what... I don't know. I don't know. This is what math nerds do all day long.
What is a number that's equal to infinity?
Infinity.
But that's not a number. It's a term for it. Yeah.
I know. I don't know. Just a reminder that D is what we're trying to get by itself, so we need to pick away all those other numbers. We're going to start on the bottom. What's the opposite of dividing by 6? Flip or no flip? Why no flip? Now I'm going to get rid of the plus 4. What's the opposite of adding 4? It was a D. I just kind of missed the tail there. How to get rid of plus 4? Flip or no flip? Why? What's the very last step in every equation, every inequality, everything we've done in this unit? Divide by the coefficient. That's why you study at home or in your class in period 1, because who cares about that? Flip or no flip?
No flip.
2 divided by negative 2? Ooh, variables on each side. 2k minus 4 greater than equal to 4k minus 16. What do we do when there's variables on each side? Move them. So the 4k is going to come over. What's going to happen with the minus 4? He's going to go over. And again, if you want to do it in 2 steps, do it in 2 steps. What happens to positive 4k when he comes over? Negative 4k. So negative 4k plus 2k. What happens to negative 4 when he goes over? So minus 16 plus 4. Flip or no flip? A little 50-50 there. Did I divide by anything? Did I multiply by anything? Nope. All I did was add and subtract, so it's going to stay exactly the way it is. How do I get rid of a coefficient of negative 2? Ooh, divide by what now? Questions so far? Show me your thumb. Getting it, kind of getting it, not getting it. Put it really high so I can see. Awesome. Try number 5. Try number 5. High 5 if you're correct. Why have I not flipped anything? Is it going to be what? I could not confirm or deny. The end of class. The end of class, we were told. Word problem! Yeah. On the quiz, let's see who caught the trick. How many people went to the zoo?
3. 4. Oh, here. Oh, it was 4. It was 4. Dang it! Oh, no. It was 4. What? No. Shoot. That's I didn't catch that. How many? It was 4. How many people did you see went to the zoo? What was the question? I said it was 4.
Lisa took 3 of her friends to the zoo. It's a what?
This is a girl and a boy.
Yes. Hey, you know, we don't question. We don't question. We accept everyone. We accept everyone. We need to know $14.50 an hour, at least 600 each week. How many hours will she, he, whatever, need to work? What is the key words of this question that tells you it's an inequality, not an equation? At least. Circle that, put stars around it, something like that. Put some glue, at least. So we're going to take $14.50 times x, x being the number of weeks she needs to earn. And we know something about $600. Can she or does she want to earn less than that?
No.
Does she want to earn at least that? Does she want to earn more than that? So what number is going to include equal and more? Greater than? Greater than? Or equal to. Okay, so just making a note, this is at least. Uh-huh. All I have is a coefficient. How do we get rid of a coefficient? Flip or no flip?
No flip. No flip. No flip. No, Nick, no. No flip. 41.37. Nope, 41.38.
And assuming she can't work a partial hour,
42.
42 hours.
Or can you go 41 and a half? It'd be closer to 41 and a half. What about lunch breaks?
Yeah, but she won't earn 600 if she works less, so we got to round up for this one. No lunch breaks. Nope, she can't stop.
42 hours straight.
Read to read number 7.
Nick, we know you're gonna be rich. Okay. I have no money. I'm poor. Ethan Robinson's rich. I am. Ethan Robinson's really rich. Like, really, really rich. I won $700.
Read to read.
Never spent anything. Ethan Robinson, that's like crazy.
Read to read, Nicholas.
I'm reading. Stockhouses. That dog's really happy to have a house. Oh, Chris, you're beauty.
What do we need to know?
Each one sells for $15 or $115 and takes 4 hours to make.
Part A, what's the key part?
At these $1,000. How many dollars?
Part B?
Wants to work more than 50 hours.
Oh, no more than 50 hours.
How many houses can you make?
Apparently the word how isn't in that sentence.
Oh, house can you make? Would it be how many houses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do?
You want to go? Math.
Yes.
115 times 4.
We don't know how many houses. But we don't know how many houses he's going to make.
115x is greater than or equal to. Oh no. Less or equal to 4.
So what did we just talk about above with at least?
Greater than.
Greater than or equal to. How do we solve for x? Flip or no flip? Why no flip?
Not dividing, multiplying by a negative. Eight
8.7. Can't really make 0.7 of a doghouse.
You could.
Yeah, no one's going to buy that.
I'd have that. $9. Yeah.
What about B?
That one is less than or equal
Well, let's figure out the left-hand side first. So this time we're just dealing with the hours, not the money.
So 4 hours is equal, 4x equal to, or no, equal to or less than. No, just less than.
This is what I'm hearing.
Because no more, so you can have equal to. Yeah. Okay. I agree with Nick. First time in forever.
How do we solve for x? Flip or no flip?
No flip, and that's 12.5.
12.5, what now?
Hours. Or, no, dog houses.
So if it has to be less than that,
So 12.
so 12.
Well, since he's halfway done, he could continue it later.
If you wrote that logic out, I would accept it. Just round down. Last one.
Should be soon. Yeah, so you're a bell to the wall.
All I know is the end of class. That's all they've told us.
So would we bring our stuff out with us or no? What about? I did not because that's not important. What if I need to save my juice box? Can we just like
You now know what I know, but you don't know what I know.
wait?
Read to read.
Carter doesn't go to those because he doesn't get awards. You want to see my ring neck? Got him. Yeah, for what? Playing the bench? Do you play this one?
Let me grab my fire drill clipboard. Let's finish. It has not rung yet.
We did 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3, because we didn't do it fast enough or something, wasn't it? Yeah, and then they pulled it again, and something pulled it.
I think you go this way with me, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. What do we need to know?
Cost is $450 plus 24 per person. Only have a $2,000 budget. Yeah.
Can you spend more than that?
No.
Can you spend exactly that? Could you spend less than that?
Yes. How many people?
So it's $450 plus $24. Why X? I don't know how many people are going. What's the correct inequality sign?
Equal to or less than 2,000.
How do we get rid of the 450?
Subtract 450.
Flip or no flip?
No flip.
Why no flip?
Not multiplication or division. By negative. 650. No, 550. 1,550. 1,550.
Confirm 1550?
Yeah. Divide by 24. Someone do that, please.
Flip or no flip?
No flip. No flip. No. 64 people.
Confirm 64?
Yes. Well, if you could have half person, then maybe.
Hockey Academy P. Come on!